Before we get into the video, I need you guys to do me a favour. Number 1, like the video. Also comment, let me know your thoughts on the story. Football firms come in all shapes and sizes. Some firms like Millwall Bushwhackers or Birmingham City Zulus or Cardiff City Soul Crew make headlines for the lawless behaviour, for their zing, for their animalistic grouping outside stadiums and city streets that have normal civilians and pedestrians running. From bottles, bricks, coins, chairs, their weapons of choice. Some smaller firms got under the radar, and that's case in point Newport County firm. The fact that Newport football firm does not have a real unified name, and that speaks to their bat-crazy characters. However, it says that Newport County back in the 1970s and early 1980s were known as the Booze Crew. Later, that transcended into the B team, and for a short while they were known as the NHS, and now the younger generation are said to go by DYC. Now Newport were never big when it comes to numbers, and that was due to the fact that a lot of people in Newport actually were Cardiff supporters. It was a case of oddball and quirky, fiercely loyal people who often strayed a little off the path came together to support their football team against bigger clubs. Because, as former B team member Top Boy Trevor Trewick says, Newport housed some crazy people, and that was because a lot of the firm were looking for adventure and to feel the energy and excitement of what firms like Soul Crew were doing. Now, people like Trevor Trewick first got into the Newport County firm as a 12-year-old teenager. Newport legends like the Perry brothers would provide coaches for travel, and they would follow their beloved Newport County around to away games like Leyton Orient, Cardiff, Swansea, Bradford. Now in 1983 to 1984, the casual scene began on the terraces. Now according to reports, Newport vs Cardiff was a bigger rivalry than Cardiff vs Swansea. Swansea was often overlooked as a firm by both Cardiff and County. In the late 1980s, Newport B team started due to an English martial artist instructor commenting on how Newport firm never had a name or a calling card. He mentioned that Newport would always be the B team. The comment was made in jest. However, Newport fans latched onto the idea, and a group of 3 walked into a sports shop and got sweatshirts made. They got B team printed on those shirts. Now Newport was playing Leyton Orient in the 1980s. After a few points of bitter, the B team had travelled to Rodney Parade Stadium, went through the turnstile and went to the wayside where Leyton Orient Terrace was, and then began their B team chant, showing off their sweatshirts, and that's how the B team was established. Now the B team had also travelled to Brentford, dressed in the B team uniform. 3 men involving Trevor Trewick went onto the Brentford stand, the terrace, and began to chant before the game even started. Newport were outnumbered by over 1 to 100, and police took the action to detain the men. They then ejected the men from the stadium. Only when they were ejected, Leyton Orient firm were outside already, waiting. They were still pissed at the disrespect the B team showed them in the quarter-final. Hands, feet, bottles were used against Newport County. Our Newport B team had then made a beeline to the pub. The B team was surrounded on all 4 sides. 3 Newport men punched and kicked their way out, 6 to 10 people. In the same incident, a Newport firm member was bladed 6 times, and thankfully they were not pronounced dead. That was considered a miracle. Now in recent times, Gwent police have released statements advising civilians to avoid populated places, and if attending the match then please arrive at the stadium early to avoid conflict, and that's due to the reputation that Newport County have now. And this happened when Newport County were playing other Welsh teams due to the drinking and violent culture. Now in one episode, Newport County and Swindon Town were playing a League 2 match on February of 2023, the same time Wales was hosting Ireland for the Six Nations. Instead of fans taking their advice, Newport County firm and Swindon firm arrived at the Newport Town Centre by the pubs and bars. The 2 separate firms then meshed together in front of shoppers. Bar stools, chairs, tables were held at their opponents or used as ramps to push each other back. Now police had to bombard the scene to disperse the situation. Now for a firm that has little to no history, again, You can ask firms like Swansea and Cardiff and they will tell you that Newport were real contenders. Let me know your guys' opinion in the comments. Stay safe.